All right, hello and welcome to a media discernment video. Um, I was really fired up with the last one I did. I got into it, so I got quite fired up. This one is going to be a fairly significant length too, but probably not as much as the last one. Anyhow, um, if you don't know, how I go about media discernment videos is I pick a piece of content of media and then I watch it. I jot down my notes of the unclean content in it, and from a Christian worldview. And then I do a video based upon my notes that I jotted down, and I discuss the garbage within the music video or whatever piece of content it is. In this case, it's another music video. I'm just finishing up a bundle that I was doing that I wanted to do. Notes I wrote down quite a while ago. Anyhow, this one is going to be on Dark Horse featuring Juicy J. Anyhow, I got quite a point to make at the end. It's going to be interesting. But anyhow, it's difficult because I wrote these a bit back, and now I'm coming back to them to do a verbal analysis on them. So we'll just kind of do our best and wing it. All right, so there's the pyramid, obviously ancient Egypt, Memphis. So lots of interesting things. So pyramid in of itself, satanic Illuminati New World Order symbol for Satan eventually ascending to the top of the pyramid and ruling as God, ascending himself, as he said, said he would do, but it's not going to rain for long. But anyhow, God's going to take care of him. So anyhow, because the spot's already taken. Anyhow, Katy being worshipped as a goddess, nothing unusual given her. La-di-da-di-da. I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to say that bit. I just got kind of aggro when I was writing that note, apparently. But nonetheless, Katy being worshipped as a goddess. So she's like the queen of Egypt in this video. So she's the one being worshipped. There's the Eye of Horus, satanic symbol. Also, her left eye is designed similarly to indicate the Illuminati satanic symbol of the all-seeing eye. The all-seeing eye, if you didn't know, it's a counterfeit of God being omnipresent. So it's like the New World Order symbol of that equivalent, of all the end of times spying systems. Essentially, the counterfeit God will have fabricated the equivalent of God's nature or attribute in that. So anyhow, snake decoration, that's interesting that even snakes are associated with Egypt, but nonetheless I could mention the serpent. Interesting. Katy showing off legs. Tattoo, right upper arm, right wrist. So Katy has tattoos. She's being a good influence on people, apparently. Leviticus 19:28. Ye shall not make any cuttings in your flesh for the dead, nor print any marks upon you. I am the Lord. I'm just not for tattoos. It could have all these little negative effects, bad influence on people. It's not cool. Might be trendy, but it's not cool. It's not a good influence on people, and it's not how you were made. So I don't know why you would want to modify yourself in such a way. So golden idol statues. We've heard about golden idol statues in the Bible, haven't we? Relating to Egypt. Various Egyptian imagery. Man showing one eye. That's another nod to the symbol, being symbolic of that, and esoteric. A boat, two snakes atop, decoration, interesting. Man presents himself to Katy's sexual liking, and just weird sexual cat masks, I guess. Cats were also, I think, sacred with Egypt. Katy's hair also has pyramids. Or what? Case pair also has pyramids atop the Eye of Horus. So just left and right Egyptian symbols that are being normalized to the youth as the prerequisite to these New World Order type things coming about. Normalized on the youth so that they don't notice or catch them. And that they see them as normal when they do come about. So anyhow, multiple of each, pyramid and Eye of Horus, and hair color design marks off triangle shapes too. So there's all sorts of pyramids and Eyes of Horus. He offers her a gigantic diamond. So boatload of materialism there. Double all-seeing eye moment as Katy uses an Eye of Horus to examine the diamond, indicating the all-seeing eye, or shielding one to use merely one, which is still satanic. Very interesting there. I find that very interesting. She covered her eye. She used an Eye of Horus, an all-seeing eye, satanic symbol, as like a magnifying glass to see, and that's a counterfeit thing. It's very interesting, very interesting. So she relied not upon herself but the aid of that thing. Very interesting. There could be some different messages there. And then from behind her, blue lightning kills the man. Statue of the Sphinx. So the Sphinx, essentially the Egyptian gods are kind of like alive in this. And they have powers and stuff. And the Sphinx is adorned with a snake. Interesting. And the statue itself moves about and talks supernaturally. Interesting. Likely I'm missing a bunch of stuff. She prior did an Illuminati hand symbol of 2 fingers held down by your thumbs. So that's the devil horn sign. Not very cool to promote that, I don't think. And possibly a Molech symbol, which was an ancient god, I think. An ancient false god. I think that one was the one of fire, where they tossed the kids through the fire, and I forget. Anyhow, I don't know what the double-winged gem was about. There's staves, which there are snakes atop them. Interesting. And Katy's headdress, which is interesting. So, maybe something as simple as the snake just striking fear into them with the power of whoever's pharaoh, even if it's a queen pharaoh, the power they have to just strike at their enemies. Maybe that's what it was going for. Katy eats the dead man's jewel. Katy eats a jewel. I wish I knew more of New Ageism stuff. I wish there was a good Christian book on that. I haven't found one, but that sounds interesting. To try and understand that better within the context, if there was more here. 2 servants put their snakes together. Then there's a naked woman amidst the deities or imageries of Egypt. So it shows off her legs and her chest. And then there's a snake wrapped around her. Very interesting is all I got to say. I don't need to elaborate. I just find it very interesting, these notes that I wrote quite a while ago. But I'm coming back to do the video. So yeah. There's pyramid-shaped food. Interesting. Makes me almost think like that's a counterfeit of God with Israel in the desert providing food. then this is saying that this is like some sort of esoteric meaning that the New World Order will provide the food or something. I don't know. Very weird. Or Satan will provide the food. Very weird. I don't know. So a new man arrives to Katy offering the food, which has the Eye of Horus with teeth added, a bird adorned his headdress, and various deity necklaces. Very weird. There's lots you could sift through. This is definitely one with a lot to it. She finds the food hot, so she kills the man with supernatural lightning from her hand and brings forth drink. Well, you know, where's she getting her power from? Obviously, they're going for these deities, these false gods of Egypt, which were trumped by God with the 12 plagues or whatever. So who is she getting the power from? She's getting these false gods. Well, what if those false gods are fallen angels? What if they're demons granting her this power? And then she thinks that the false gods are real. I don't know. Interesting. Third man tries his attempt. He brings forth a golden calf chariot, also with owls, and it dons a snake atop his headdress. Very interesting. There's so much there. First, we got the golden calf, which is which was an idol of Egypt. Then we have the owls bit, which could be more of the Molech stuff. Then we got the snake. So it's all very interesting and tied together. Very interesting. The statue talks again, glows blue powers. Juicy J comes forth from a casket, possibly indicating revival from the dead, donning a snake headdress. Snake designs were also inside the casket. Now, when I read that off, it almost seems like something out of Revelation, where the false prophet, or whatever the case, is mortally wounded or something and is brought back, possibly, and then possibly that's a fabrication of Jesus resurrecting. So there's going to be just a false element to it. But anyhow, let's continue. So third man also killed off by Katy and her supernatural Sphinx statue. There's some sexual movements, of course, for the views. There's a gold push, which is a materialism push. Even in ancient times, gold was super popular. Katy thus loots the third man's belongings. So she just killed him and took his stuff. Juicy J, a man with earrings. Earrings. I don't agree with that. I don't agree with modifying your body. God made you how you are. Why would you modify yourself? And earrings, we could go the same with tattoos, the same verse, Leviticus 19:28. You shall not make any cuttings in your flesh for the dead, nor imprint any marks upon you. I am the Lord. So fourth man arrives, unmasks as an alligator head person. There's literally pole dancing, showing off legs by three women wearing cat masks. Cats were sacred. I don't know why. It's just pole dancing and legs. The dance floor has an Eye of Horus. Interesting. Three women as well. Interesting. And there's a tattooed man. There's a Katy tattoo. Alligator turned into a puppy. The puppy scared off. More pole dancing with Juicy J right behind one woman. Fifth man. Pyramid plus Eye of Horus necklace, which is a double satanic symbol there. More pole dancing. This last man offers her a pyramid. Juicy J in Katy's personal space. Pyramid adorned with capstone with a missing top section. Adorned with pyramid symbols. Very interesting. Katy places herself on that position. The symbolic position of Satan. The all-seeing eye atop the pyramid. And there's weird blue people. And then Katy just showing off more leg, just being sexual and doing it for views, which if they're doing it for views and that sort, the men shouldn't watch the music video. Don't let them get away with it. Then Katy atop the pyramid spreads her wings, possibly indicating to be a goddess, some sort of deity. So the pyramid is then shown in its entirety, coming apart, and the capstone ascends as the sides come off, revealing pyramid designs further within. So it indicates that Katy is some sort of deity, and it's interesting that the spot was of Satan and the New World Order. That was the spot she claimed. So she, very interesting. I'll get to it. And then there's one final man turned into a faced dog, which is weird. But anyhow, very interesting. She was portrayed in the spot of Satan in the New World Order, ascending to become God. The Great Lie, Genesis 3. Very interesting. And perhaps the even darker message in plain sight is Satan's old bold claim that he would ascend and become God. That is exactly what is portrayed in this video by Katy Perry. Or with Katy Perry, whatever. In the description, it encourages folks to insert themselves into the video using tech, but under the guise of playing with magic. Bad influence. As of writing, it has over 1.3 billion views, and probably has 2 billion views by now. It was very popular. Very, very, very popular. So this was just based upon the audio, not the, or based upon the video, not the audio. Anyhow, it's just fascinating. Absolutely fascinating. The top of the pyramid, ascending to become God, the Great Lie. Genesis 3, what Satan deceived Adam and Eve with, and they fell. They didn't get high, become gods, higher, they descended, they fell. This satanic New World Order will fall. So, anyhow, it's just very fascinating that all this stuff is in these music videos these days, being promoted and normalized before the real stuff comes along. Interesting. And not a good influence either. Not with the magic bit. But anyhow, that is my review, or not review, media discernment video on Dark Horse, featuring Juicy J. So yeah, that pretty much wraps it up. So thank you very much for watching, and do stay tuned for another music video at some point. I will see you up ahead. Thanks for watching. Take her cool.